Welcome everyone to Here for the Horses. Glad you're here for the horses. Tonight's going to be pretty cool. Nancy and she bought a package of 4 one-on-one sessions. So we're going to go over our last one-on-one session with Kingston. We'll go over parts of it. It was really interesting, and I feel like we're learning a lot about him. An interesting horse. What I was going to do, which I didn't have time is bring up old videos of him because he really moved around a lot and kind of bulldozed a little bit, you know. You know horses that when they get nervous they just kind of like bulldoze over things. He
Hmm.
has a tendency to do that. So um I've noticed that about him. And some of my friends' horses do it too. But they just kind of go in defense mode and they go, they just kind of, they'll either swing around or, this is like when they go through fences and stuff like that, that's kind of that same personality. So I've been noticing that about him. So we've kind of been discovering things about him as we've been, Nancy's been with me a long time. So, as she did Journey Through the Horse, if you were with us there, we saw him a lot and he was really like kind of he just moves a lot. He's got a lot of animation going on. And he's getting way better. He's doing really good now. So, Nancy has some one-on-one sessions with me, and we've kind of figured some things out about him. So I want to go over them with you guys. First, let's watch a cute video. Why not? This one's cute. With no social life, you must be really bored all the time. Not when you have a horse like this.
Hey, I'll throw it, but excuse me. Excuse me. Drop it. Drop it. Drop it.
Look at this horse. Uh,
Hey, I'll throw it, but excuse me. Excuse me. Drop it.
Uh, that's a lot of horse. That's a lot of horse to be dealing with. He's a big, I call them meatballs when they get that big. He's a big old meatball. And that's a lot of energy. It's like people that get like healer dogs or something and they don't know that you pretty much have to run them every day or they're gonna destroy your life. But yeah, that horse is funny. I like the way he bucks. It's cute. Okay, so what I want to talk about today, let me explain a little bit first. So I have one-on-one sessions available for anyone that wants them with the kind of the understanding that you have to have my online course to do that, just because if I say we're moving on to the blah, 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 then you have to know what that is, so you kind of have to have my course in order to do that. So I will put the link for the one-on-one sessions in the chat. Another thing about one-on-one sessions is that you have to have Wi-Fi that works out in your barn. So that makes it harder sometimes. I do have some people that bring them up to the house. Like I had to bring Georgia up to my house one time to do a call. So that works fine if you want to. But that's for the one-on-one sessions. So I do need you to kind of have an understanding of my teaching. So it's a little bit more advanced. And there's multiple different types that you can sign up for. You can get a single session, a package of two, a package of three, and a package of four, I think. So feel free to check those out. They're pretty fun. Well, you'll see because we're going to show one today, and then Stephanie's done them. Wanda has done something similar, which was kind of a group advanced massage thing. That was fun. So those are pretty fun. But I do kind of need you to know what I'm talking about with the way I teach and stuff like that. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about Kingston. Nancy, you're on here. Why don't you talk a little bit about Kingston for a second? I'm gonna actually look for some of his old videos real quick.
Well, Kingston's got a lot of tension in him. And we found it, I mean, he's had it all over. I remember when we first did his front legs, he had a lot of tension in them. But that seems to be over with. I need to, do it once in a while to see. But we found it in his face and his pole and his right ear. He's real tight on his right side. There's one place on his neck that he really bothers him. And this last time we found a place above the point of hip that really bothered him. And his tail, it's almost impossible to work with his tail. We're making a little progress, but he does not want his tail messed with. And for a gaited horse, his hind end's pretty important. Not that it's not with other horses, but he's got to be able to move his hind legs to get the gait, Anyway, that's it in a nutshell. And well, like Erin said, he used to be really mouthy. He's still mouthy, but we've got him by the place where he's always trying to move me out of the way and, always grabbing at me. It's like a pacifier. If he gets a hold of me or mouths me, then he doesn't have to pay attention to his tension and what's really bothering him. So now we've learned after I give him a break, I need to walk 4 feet away from him and make him stand there. He wants to creep. He wants to come toward me, but he's got to stand 4 feet away. And then he's like, okay, well, maybe I'll release something. But if he can mouth me or if he's real close to me, he won't release, basically. Or not as much anyway. Oh, we work on the jaw release is a big thing with him. So we made a lot of progress with that over the year, if you will. I've learned though that I need to take his halter off because it's tight. Then he can't get the full yawn. Doesn't matter where I put the halter, it's just too tight around his muzzle. So I take it off when I do the jaw release. And then yesterday when I worked with him, he got a pretty good yawn. He really did. I forget on which quadrant, but he got a couple really good yawns.
It's probably the top right.
I don't remember now.
Yeah. So yeah, there's a lot of interesting things about him. And she mentioned the jaw release, and I was just I wanted to show you guys how he used to be. He used to just like move around a lot. Just like he just moved around a lot. And all of that is tension with him. Okay. And then she mentioned how he used to be kind of wild with the jaw release. So I found an old jaw release video, so I want to show it to you guys real quick. Okay, so this is back in April. So we can go back even further, but I just want you to kind of look at all the movement. Do you see all the movement? Okay. So watch this video here. This is the jaw follow-up here. Let's just watch this for a second. I don't want to spend a ton of time on it, but I want you to see, I want you to look at, whoa, sorry. Color coordinating. Look at all the little tiny micro movements. Look at how much he moves around. And then she goes to do the jaw release. You don't like it.
And of all the breakaway ropers in the world of rodeo, so let me say this on her behalf.
And this is his good side, so this is good. But you see all the movement in his head? Here's a release.
Comes in bringing the gold buckle that set the 2024 champion of the world. And
Oh, she's fixing his halter there too. Let's see what he does on the other side here. Can everyone see how tight that jaw is? Oh, okay. could everyone see the tight jaw? So when a jaw is loose, I want it to go. And it has kind of a nice grinding sound. That sounds bad, but it goes ow, 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 ow. Okay. When it's tight, it's either it doesn't open up very much, okay? Or it's really fast and like erratic, okay? Or they throw their head around, all right? Or or it'll be like erratic and then it'll grind like twice and then it'll be erratic again. That tells you they're on their way to loosening up. Okay. Or if they throw you around at the end like he did, he couldn't handle anymore. Okay. So those are just some, oh, and the dead giveaway, what's the dead giveaway? Someone write it in the chat. If a jaw is tight, what's the dead giveaway? Leanne's typing. I see you, Leanne. Tell me the dead giveaway. This you could see this from a distance. Somebody knows it. Nancy, you can't do it. If a horse's jaw is stuck, what can't they do? They can't yawn. They can't yawn. So if you like, listen, if you go like this, yep, Carol's out mucking stalls probably. She had to take her gloves off for that. If you have a horse that is trying to yawn and it goes, is that not the most awful thing you've ever seen? Don't you just want to help them? Okay. A full yawn, yeah, the tongue doesn't come out. Yeah. A full yawn, what do I call them? Ugly. The uglier the better. Yeah, Sandra, do it. You say the word yawn and just see how many people do it. Okay. The uglier the better. I want the eyes rolled back. I want the tongue out. I want the teeth up over. I want that. I want the head up in the sky. Okay. And we're going to see it on Kingston. He couldn't do it. He couldn't do it. Okay. So the uglier the better. The yawn has to be big. It has to be big. Okay. I mean, let's take a look here. Let's take a look. Where's my, get this out of here. Let's take a look at a yawn. Right here. Okay, look at that. Look at that. Look at this. Head up in the, look, up. Look at this. Uglier, the better. Okay, you guys know I have that Frisian I use all the time, right? So I want to see the teeth. I want to see their gums. I want to see their eyes rolling back. I want to see everything. Okay, that's how we know we have an ugly yawn. So let's start here with Kingston. So a couple things I was talking about with Kingston. He gets fidgety. He gets a little bullish, like he'll kind of move around too much and he'll not, kind of shoulder bump you, or if you're standing behind him, he just swings his butt around, stuff like that. Nancy had mentioned that what we figured out was he needs 4 feet to release. He needs you out of his space. But the funny thing about him was he doesn't want you out of his space. He wants to like climb up into your lap, okay? And so what we had to do was kick him out of our space and then make him stand like a big boy all by himself. And we're finding that he doesn't want to do that. He wants to be right on top of you. He wants to be like messing with you. That's the other thing is he messes with her all the time. And it's like he's kind of mouthy. It's not like it's not a nice mess with you. It's kind of like a poke at you and he wants to, do stuff. Okay? So you kind of have to be careful because he'll nip because it's a nervous thing. Okay? So it's just something we're watching that he's doing. All right. So let's take a look here. I'll make this big. Okay, so we're gonna start off by taking a look at the forehead. So the last, this is our second session. The last session that Nancy and I did, we discovered a lot of face tension. Okay, a lot in the face. So I wanted to spend more time on the face because he's got to get it out of there. He's got to get that tension out of his face. Okay, so here we go.
It is called the breakaway Robin.
There's some of the,
Boys I know are cowgirls.
eventually when he work gets less, and I think it has gotten less. Yeah, so I think that's related to tension and worry. There you go, beautiful.
And Thursday night, go yellow.
So let's spend a fair amount of time on his face today.
And our three folks in attendance today, they run one this afternoon, they run another one tonight, add them up, that was another great run at 2.9. Let's go to the lady that everybody saw.
And then remember, he needed breaks a lot. So let's try a break right now. And the other thing with him that was interesting is that you had to get out of his space or he wouldn't release as well, like a good 4 feet. Right. And then the other thing that was interesting is he didn't want you out of his space. He kind of was using you as a security blanket, but unfortunately that security blanket didn't help him release tension. Okay. There's the release. There you go. So he kind of has to put his little big boy pants on and release all by himself without you in his space.
Yep. And he breathed there. I don't know if you could hear him. Breathe. And what do you think, big boy? Huh? There you go. Come up. Come on. Yep. Yep. Come on.
All right, good. I think that was it. I mean, he looks relaxed now. So let's move on. Let's do the same thing though, and let's see what else we get out. I want to see if we can keep going back to the same spot and getting tension out. This looks better. Oh, this looks a lot better.
He feels better.
Yeah.
He's like, right. Yeah, but not tense. Oop. That's no hair, but well, there.
I'm gonna sweep over his eyes a little bit. Yep. Watch for a change in him. Right there. Right. See it? See it came back? Tension came back. All right, and give him a little break. I feel like he's faking it now, so I want to see if something comes out. See how he's holding his breath now and got his head up? Okay, so can everybody see that this is not the face of relaxation? So something happened because he was relaxed back here. Look at that. Do you see the difference? Okay, so that was his first break. And now he's kind of up here somewhere. Looks right there. But oh, here. Okay. So not relaxed. So that was interesting. He kind of went in and out of the state of relaxation based on whatever he was processing. Okay. So that was his forehead. The next thing we took a look at was his jaw. So Nancy had said that he had more tension on his right side. I want you to pay attention to the difference in his left side jaw, which is the side she's on right now, and his right side jaw. Pretty significant difference in his behavior. Very nice. Yep. Yeah, right there looks like it's got a little something. Mm-hmm. All right, let's give a break on that. Do you see how he wants to be in right next to her the whole time? So that desire and that distracts him from releasing tension and processing the work. Okay. So we don't want him following her. He needs to stand on his own. Okay, so not a lot going on that right side, or sorry, left side of the jaw. He handled the work really well. He was just hitting a fly. Didn't have too many issues. He's obviously relaxed right now. Okay, good. Let's do the other jaw. Let's take a look at the right side. See what changes. There's one. That's one thing. That was interesting.
Oh, not that one.
Oh yeah, now he's feeling it. Okay, so that's where the tension's coming out. He's got right side jaw tension. Okay, so far he's shown 3 different things that show me that are different from the other side. So what are the 3 things? What are 3 things that are different when she was working on the right side than when she was working on the left side?
When she went to the right side, he obviously tried to avoid it. And then he started moving his head all over, whereas on the other side, he pretty much just let her do whatever.
Stood there. Yep. So Georgia is queen of that. She, when you go to reach for a halter and they go, no, thank you. Okay. It is so mild. Most people don't recognize it. They don't notice that it's happening. Okay. When you go to reach for obviously, if you're like a monster coming at them, right, they're going to look away. But if you go to gently reach for your horse's halter and they go, no, thank you. Okay. That's something I want you to pay attention to because it means something. It means one, they don't really want you grabbing onto their face. Okay. So is it face tension? Maybe. And it means they're not connected with you. They don't want to do whatever your plans are. Okay. So it could be something else completely, like they don't like whatever you're doing. But I want when you go to reach for your horse, I want you to pay attention if they look away. And stop grabbing for them if they do. Just back up and go, what was that about? Because a lot of times I'll do that with Georgia where I'll go to reach for her and she goes, no thanks. And I go, oh, okay, what is it? And she just wanted a little bit of a break, you know, like she just kind of wanted me to ask permission if I could move on. Okay. So Kingston, his is, in my opinion, related to tension. Because he's got a lot of tension on this right side. And then Leanne also mentioned that he was, you know, just moving around. There's one more that he showed. It was one of the first things he did. It's in my ebook, Equine Insight, 7 Telltale Signs of Tension. What is that one? Can anyone think of it? Yeah. Leanne got it. It's what's that over there? What's that over there? I don't want to pay attention to you. Okay. And I was talking to Nancy. I don't know if I think it should be the 8 telltale signs of tension because Kingston is kind of nipping. Nipping is a sign of tension for him. He nips. And I was just recently working on a baby, helping my friend get used to the baby handling her feet. And when we go to pick up her feet, she nips. It's tension. It's tension. It's nerves. She's nervous. Okay. So it's 8 telltale signs of tension, revised edition coming out soon. Okay. So just little things like that. Let's pay attention to these horses. They're speaking to us pretty clearly when you start paying attention. And it is a lot easier to see it on a video. So don't feel too bad if you're missing it when they're doing it. Yeah, Mystic Knight used to do that when going to their back legs, groin area. Yeah, for sure. So let's keep watching here. So keep paying it. Yeah, let's give him a break. Good. Let's give him a break. So let's go back just a little bit. Okay. Oh yeah, now he's feeling it. Okay, so that's where the tension's coming out. He's got right side jaw tension. Oh, yeah, let's give him a break. Good. Let's give him a break. See that? Lots of right jaw. I could kind of tell right off the bat, but I wasn't 100% sure. Lick and chew, head shake. Where I was. TMJ, okay. Right jaw, and then we had forehead. Okay. Look at him. He was having a hard time with you working on that though, because he was like, ah. Yeah, big breath. Scraper. So I do find it interesting also what we noticed is that when Nancy was doing some work, he would release really well the first time we worked on the area. And so then we would give him a break. And remember, I tell you guys to check your work. Check your work. Did you get it all out? So go back and do it again and see if you get it out. Most of the time when we went back to do it again, there wasn't tension there. So I find that pretty interesting. Okay. So let's move on to, I want to take a look at the right side ear. Okay. We let him take a break there for a while. All right, let's try that right ear. Because remember, it was TMJ on the right side jaw, pull. So we got to check that ear out.
That seems better.
Mm-hmm. Oh, he's feeling it. See, he tries to hold stuff in and like pretend like it doesn't bother him, but just comes out in behavior. So let's squeeze a little harder. Let's push him a little bit. Yep, there we go. Yep, there we go. Keep holding it. Yep. Yep. And then let go. Give him a second. There's a release. Back up just a little bit. There you go. You gotta wait these horses out sometimes. Okay, let's do that again. I'm trying to kick you off some spot. We gotta find out what spot that is. Probably right there. Yep. Here. There you go. Yeah, it's right there. It's right there. Good. And then give him a break. Over here. You see the head bob? Yeah. Sometimes you have to experiment with waiting. Like you really got to wait and see.
Start this sprinkle, but I don't think it's gonna mount too much.
Okay, good. You know, it's interesting because every time we find a spot with him, he releases the first time. And then when we go back to it, he doesn't release again, but he does relax. He's done that like 4 times now. So it's really interesting. There's relaxation. Let's check that ear one more time. We'll squeeze it and lift it up off his head a bit. I would pay a lot of attention to every time if you go on that side and you go to grab the halter, he looks away. That's something. And all this action here is that's something. Because he doesn't do that on the other side now. He used to. He used to do it all the time.
They play with Bryland and alter it. That side.
Uh-huh.
That. So.
Yeah, there's still something in there.
Better than it was. I don't.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, does about this.
Now he's backing up.
Alter. 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 There.
Yeah, good, 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 good. That was a perfect release from Nancy there. Took him right to the edge. Now watch. Let's count the releases. There's a release. There we go. There we go. There we go. So that's going to be a giveaway for him when he, you know, if you go to reach for him and he does this every time, Georgia does it too when she has face tension, then there's something on that side. Okay. So you have to find it. And it took a while to find that one. And then I want to check one more spot. Look at him now. I want to check one more spot. Sometimes right around the base of the ear. It's kind of like a, there we go. There we go. Yeah, that was good. So right around the base of the ear, I kind of like press in and there's like a hole around the base of the ear and I'll kind of press into that and see what reaction I get there. So I want to try that next after he's done resting here. There we go. Got him. Did you guys see that was not a full yawn?
And his ear, around his ear, that's where I put my thumb, is where that hole is.
Yeah, it's all the way around. So we'll just check that spot again. Around the outside.
I will make sure we're talking about the same thing, yeah.
Okay.
Fidget.
A little fast yawn out of him. Fidget. There, now he's fidgeting because he's going to need to release.
There's this candy cone here. I can.
Yeah. This will make it easier.
There he
Lick and chew.
lips.
Tried
My
to yawn.
gosh,
look at that. So his jaw's stuck.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, he's trying to yawn. He can't do a full yawn. Is that halter loose enough to do a full yawn?
Should be.
Okay. Check that left. Yeah, there. See how it's not a full yawn? Can you guys see that? Check that left side ear while you're over there. Eight releases. Yeah, he's still releasing from all this, but I want to make sure we don't ignore the left side ear. 9, lick and chew.
Oh, got it.
So kind of you can start soft, but use the same pressure. We gotta up our ante a little bit when it comes to pressure for that part to get that out. That was important.
Yeah. That's.
Yeah, look how, see how he gets that nervousness again? Needs a pacifier. That's all very interesting. That's all tension and nerves.
There's a hole back here.
Yeah, yep. It's kind of all the way around, and then there's that, yep, exactly. And then there's that band, right at kind of where the opening comes down to the V. You can press up on that band too, yeah. But the rest of it, there's kind of, yeah, there's a hole around just the base of the ear.
Here.
Yeah.
One back here.
Yeah.
Which one you want me to play with?
Yeah. Okay. So that was a lot of work, right? That was a lot of work. He if we didn't push it and squeeze that ear harder and hold it for longer, that wasn't coming out. Okay, that wasn't going to come out. So it's interesting. I have some people that do cranial sacral work, and cranial sacral is very quiet. It's literally just like feeling rhythms. I mean, it's just a very quiet modality. I think it's awesome. I love it. Bravo, cool. But it's interesting. They'll comment on my posts and they'll say stuff like, there's one lady in particular that's pretty rude. She'll be like, you do not need to rub that hard, da 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 da. And it's like, we're doing different modalities, you know? So cranial sacral is not getting that tension out of that ear. Sorry, it's not going to work. That needed manual manipulation on the firm side. Okay? Just like cranial sacral is not getting knots out of muscles, it's not going to. So different modalities do different things. She certainly doesn't want to do hard friction with the work that she's doing. That's not what her modality does. But I'm not going to be super soft all the time when I'm working with horses when they need stuff pulled and pushed and manipulated and, scrape that muscle, release that scar tissue. They need the fascia moved around, stuff like that. So I'm not going to, I feel like she should know that too. It's like we're not all doing the same work. But it's interesting. Like that ear, you had to up the ante, is what I called it, right? And then after that, he needed a significant break before he was like, oh my gosh. And then did y'all see that his jaw was stuck? That he couldn't open it? Like when horses yawn like really fast, like what? And they stick their tongue out and it's like pointy, that's a stuck jaw. That's not a relaxed yawn. So a yawn, when you see one, should make you want to yawn. Like you should look at that yawn and go, ooh, that was a good one. That was a good yawn. That's when you're gonna have the full benefit. And it should be big and ugly. Okay. His were not big and ugly, they were really fast. Okay. So that was some pretty amazing work that we found, little tiny areas. So when we first started working with Kingston, we were just trying to get tension out of anywhere on his face. And you can see now we really need to narrow it down. Okay? We really need to narrow it down to different areas. And I say quite often the pole gets blamed for everything. Okay, he does have pole tension, but you can see that tension in his face is still going to be there even after you get the pole tension out because he also has tension in his right side TMJ. He also has tension in his right side ear and his jaw. Okay, so you can't just say the pole must be tight if the horse is head shy, and that's when I normally hear it. It could be any spot. It could be their hyoid, could be their jaw. It could be any spot on their face. So we can't blame the pole for everything. All right. I do kind of want to show you, and I didn't get a chance to timestamp it, but I have a general idea where it's at. I want to show you the spot on his hind end that I found, that Nancy and I found. It was really interesting, and I can't remember what drew my attention to it, but it was pretty small. It was a pretty small reaction, so I want to see if we can find it and take a look at it here. So let me see. I think it should be somewhere. I said it was at 9:28, so I think we're gonna be like an hour and a half in. An hour and 28 minutes. Ooh, is it right around here somewhere? Oh, point on the glutes. Nancy, what side was that on? It was on this left side, wasn't it? Oh,
Yeah,
where's
it
your
was on
key?
the left.
Yep, there it is. Okay.
I noticed it because he flinched.
Yeah.
Muscles is flinched
Yeah.
when I
Yeah.
hit it. Oh.
Did I go too far?
Every time, all right.
No, this is probably right. All right, let's watch this for a little bit. Yeah, look at his head space there. Oh, look at that got his attention. He looks like he just got a massage. Look at his hair. There you go. So rake your fingers along the spine again like you did earlier. I noticed a spot and I want to see if it's still there. Yep, it's right there. Here. No, do it on the side and pull toward you. So I can locate it exactly. His eye flutters when you hit it. Oh, that's right. Here. Watch his eye. There. Right there. It's right there. Go back one. So watch his eye when you're doing it. There's a spot. Okay, do it again. Watch his eye. There. It's somewhere right in there. I feel like it's right around there. That's right there. Right there. Yep. Yeah. Yep. Oh, that was the first spot. There's two. There's something in that area. So let's dig around in there a little bit. Yeah. Can you back him up a little bit? I can't see his face now. All right, there you go. A little bit there, yeah. Yeah, he's got two spots. There's one right there where your hand's at. Right there. And then I think there's one like right there. Yeah, here. Here. Yep. There's one right there. Yeah. So right up next to his spine, kind of by the SI. Go real slow. And go inch by inch. I want to find the exact spot. I think I know where it's at, but. Right there. Right there. Yep. Yeah. It's in there. There. It's right there. Yeah. It's right there. You're on it. Yep. Okay, go forward 1 inch and press down. Yeah. Oh, he's telling you to go back. That's funny. Do you guys see him creep forward? Yeah, it's right there. Press down. Press in. Yep. Yep. There. Do you see his eyes flicker? Right there. See it? Okay. Good. Yeah, look at there. His eyes. There we go. And give him
him a break. Give him a break. Wow, that was crazy.
Look at him.
All right.
Look at him come back to her. Okay. So that is how incredibly small it is. Now, I want to see if I can find the first time she ran her hand over it, because that is what got my attention. So it's right when she switches sides here. Because it's so small, you know? All right, let's try here.
Good, grab. Breathe. Good. Good. Come on, back up. Like, hey, do, Mom. Oh, we're not good. Under 10 feet. Do us a little bit of work on that left hip there and left glutes.
Okay, let's watch. Let's watch for the first sign. Watch his eyeballs. Bam! Did you see it? Right there. Look at all the eye flickering, all the eye blinks. Do you see them? Do you see how when she runs her hand over it, he can't help it? Okay. So that drew my attention first, and then I just kind of watched it for a little while. But that's how precise it is sometimes. So I generally massage pretty quickly, as most of you guys are used to seeing me kind of move along. But when you need to find the exact spot, you have to slow down. You have to almost go like inch by inch and watch everything they're doing. Watch their breathing, watch their eyes. Like his eyes went like, okay? So the first time she was rubbing over him, which is what I do also, every time her hand would hit that one spot, his eyes would flicker. Okay. So this is it was a big, it was a it was noticeable, but I couldn't tell exactly where it was happening. And he had like two spots. Okay, so this is his sheet. Those are the two spots, right? So he had one around the point and then like everything on that side, right? Okay. He had one spot that was around the point of hip, and that spot was kind of like a bigger area. And then he had a very small spot. I called it a 1 inch by 1 inch along his spine there, that just needed deep pressure. So yeah, slowing down is really important for locating the exact spot. And the thing is, you can't do a full massage. I mean, you could if you want to spend 3 hours on one massage and you have a horse that'll do that. But oh, the other thing about Kingston is these one-on-one sessions are about an hour. They're 2 hours, but Kingston only lasts like an hour and 45 minutes, like almost to the dot. And it's funny because he just starts kind of getting like, we got to be done now. And so it was funny. Shortly after that, I go, he only lasted like an hour 45 last time, didn't he? And she was like, yeah. So we ended it pretty quick because he ran out of quarters, and that's
Yeah.
fine. You gotta know that. What did you say, Nancy?
Yeah, you said he ran out of quarters.
Yeah. And they do. The fact that he could last that long is excellent because sometimes you have about 45 minutes to get a good massage in. So you just have to know your horse and know how much that they can handle. So little tiny areas, but when you think you may have found something, right? You're doing something, you're kind of doing your normal work, you've raked, and you notice a reaction, slow down and start going slow and finding it. Like, honestly, I was like, go inch by inch, Nancy, and then found it. And then start again and test it. Oh, still there. Press down. So we had to do direct pressure on that particular spot. Okay. So, couple things I want to, as we're wrapping up here, I want to make sure that you guys have access to, and most of you do, obviously, already. But I had mentioned the Equine Insight, which is an ebook, short ebook, 7 Telltale Signs of Tension. Now, I like this book because people are used to seeing tension as, well, that muscle looks tight, or my horse is not moving as well in the right shoulder, or when I pick this leg up, it's heavy. But tension and anxiety and stress show up in other areas. Okay, so you have, and I've outlined like 7 of them. So we all kind of know the one that's taught, right? Head up, our eyes are bugged. Okay, obviously that's tension and stress. But there are other signs, and Kingston displays them. I'm gonna have to do an amendment, So he kind of starts getting nippy. He gets a little mouthy. All right, that one's not in the 7 tell signs of tension. But another one is the one I talked about, the look off in the future, Oh, there's something over there. And I'm telling you, that one works really well on us. It works really well. We almost always fall for it. I still fall for it because you're like, what are you looking at? What are you looking at? So that one is a good one. They're pretty darn good at that. So let me put the link for that ebook in the comments here. That's called Equine Insight, 7 Telltale Signs of Tension. I like that book. I think it's good. And start thinking about, one, does my horse show other signs like Kingston did of tension? Does my horse have other things that they do that aren't normal? Because I'll tell you what, oops, hold on. I'll tell you what, some of them will. Okay. That's Equine Insight. And behaviors. Another one, horses don't start bucking out of nowhere. Your 16-year-old broke gelding does not start bucking for no reason. And it's interesting to me how many people will be like, it's a training issue. Your broke 16-year-old gelding does not start bucking for no reason. Okay? If you're dealing with a young horse and it's just under saddle, or you incorporated some new tack, okay? I had to put a back cinch on Georgia for the first time. She's 16, 17 years old now. I was like, this will be interesting, So, you got to think stuff like that, but they don't all of a sudden start bucking for no reason. Okay, so that's just some stuff to think about. And whoops. Make your fingers on the spine again like you did earlier. Voice just comes blasting through the computer sometimes. You guys, I'm in church sometimes, and I'm in charge of my church's Facebook account. So I'll be trying to put a photo from church up on, and then one of my videos will come up and I'll be like, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, I gotta stop doing this during church, man. I'm gonna tell you something real quick and then we're gonna end. So there's this, I got contacted by my church's women's ministry, and they want me to do a talk on what I do at church. And I was like, what? And then they were like, somebody wants you to bring your horse. I'm like, all right, we're coming. We're coming then. Praise Jesus. We're going to tie this in somehow. I don't know how we're going to do it, but we're going to do it. God's gift. Here's a horse. Look at it. So I will let everyone know how that goes. George is like, oh my gosh, what am I doing now? I'm going to church now. You had me at the old folks home. You got me at the rodeo. She probably like it, but it's just funny. So anyways, any comments or questions about that one-on-one? They're super fun. They're really interesting for me too, because I get
I
to
have
pick
to
on
be
these
able to
little
bring,
tiny things.
I have
What
to
was
be
it,
able to
Lynn?
bring, I got to bring Ellie in the house, I think.
Yeah, your husband will be like, "What's she doing now?"
Yeah, I can
What?
just see my hardwood floors and the horse.
Oh yeah, I know.
No, I was just gonna say, I hadn't really thought about it because I've had pictures and I've showed some things off and on, but I always have Oktoberfest in our house for all the Lutherans in Northwest Arkansas. I pull them
That
into
sounds
all of it.
awesome.
It is fun. We hike, we do waterfall hikes, but after all of our education part, which we always do, and we eat brats and drink beer, but we end with me getting all the horses out. And they just love them in the arena. And sometimes we ride a bit, but I've had people sit on the horse for the first time ever. They'd never sit on a horse before, you know. And it is something that I don't take my horses around, but it's something that people really appreciate when you do share your horse with them.
Yes. Yes. It was pretty crazy to me. I told you guys this story already, but there's a couple new people here and I just think it reminds me so often. I was at the rodeo and I was trying to get my phone to my kids and they were in the stands and I was like, "Cats, cats, get down here." And I'm like yelling and I'm like, "Come here." And so I'm trying to get my phone to them and I have Georgia with me and she's behind me. And I'm like walking kind of through like the people area where people are, like the little booths and stuff. And people are like looking at us. And I see my kids and I'm like, "Oh," and I look over to my left and I go, "Hey, hold my horse." And they were like, "Oh, okay." And she's not going anywhere, you guys. She's not going anywhere. So I hand and she doesn't care either. I hand them my horse and I go, "I'll be right back." And so I like kind of run through the stands real quick and I gave my kids the phone and I was like, "All right, thanks." And people were like looking at me. I cut through some booths and stuff. And then I came back and there were three of them and they were young. And they were just like the girl was almost crying. She was almost crying because she got to touch this horse. And the guy he was in his 20s. He starts asking me questions. He's like, "Oh my gosh, how long do they live? And what are what are those things on her feet?" Because she had I call her war clogs. She had her little boots on. She had her war clogs on, and oh, that's cool. She doesn't have shoes. No, no. And what's her name? And her name's on her little halter. It's Georgia. Oh, and they were talking to me for like 5 minutes. And I'll tell you what, man, that made their day. It made their day. And we kind of take it for granted because we're used to having these awesome horses around us all the time, right? So it's super fun. Horses are healing. I'm going to be talking about that. They're little healers. Just being around them is pretty special. So yeah. Any other comments? Any other questions about the one-on-one? Yeah, Carol, let's do it. Let's do it, Carol. Oh, she made it in the house. Yay, chores are done. Okay, well, that's all I have. Thank you all so much. Nancy's going on a clinic, so have fun, Nancy, and the rest of you guys behave this week, yeah? All right, thanks, guys. Yeah, Wanda's not going to. See you later. Bye.